Hello, my friends. Welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. This is Jennifer. Well, after all the teases from last week about what I wanted to work on for this year, I am delighted to share my first finish for 2024. And it is a project I started in 2011. Way back in 2011, Fandom and Stitches hosted the Hobbit quilt along called There and Back Again, and it was designed by 4 quilters, myself, Michelle, Shinley, and Lilia. And I will put all that info in the description, including links to where you can find all this. It was a block of the month. We only shared one block a month at that time because we had just finished the Project of Doom, which actually predated Fandom and Stitches, but we finished it up on Fandom and Stitches as well. And at that time, I thought one a week was just too much. We needed a break. We were barely posting on FIS. It was a brand new website, so once a month. And this was that quilt. I designed the layout. I designed the Lonely Mountain in the center. Let's see if I can remember what else I designed. I know I designed the Rivendell, the falls at Rivendell, and I believe I designed the Bear Paw. That seems correct. It's been a very long time. All of that, again, will be in the description. You can just find that on Fandom and Stitches. All these patterns are still available, including the layout. And so if you decide you want to make this, feel free. I've had a couple people say they want this bigger. We have a tutorial on Fandom and Stitches how to enlarge patterns. It's very easy. You could do it right from your computer and send it to your printer the size that you wanted. So again, links in the description. This quilt has had quite a journey. So I finished it in 2012 when the event finished, but I had gone to work full time and had almost no time to sew, and I was still designing and selling patterns both for myself and publishing through magazines. So I was just slammed. And my eldest was that was the year that they became a senior in high school. So just like everything was happening at once. And I put this aside so I could quilt it later. Eventually picked it up and I did straight line quilting around the sashing. And then I didn't have a frame yet. So when I got my frame, which was 2016, so here I've already gone from 2012 to 2016. 2016, I put it on the frame with my Juki, which is what I had when I first got my frame. I did not have a mid-arm. And there was a point where I had dropped my bobbin case and didn't realize how much I had damaged it. And I was, I'd done a little swatch and it looked okay. And then I was quilting along, and it just didn't sound right. And I realized I had quilted like 6 of these blocks and the bobbin was just a hot mess. So it all had to be taken out. Some of it was so tight that I didn't know if I could get it out. So out of sheer frustration, I put it aside, had to buy a new bobbin case for my machine, and then I just kind of forgot about it for a while. I just, like I said, put it aside, left it aside. And then last year, so here we've already made it to 2023. So 2016 to 2023, this just sat and I didn't do anything with it. After my 3rd foot surgery, and I had a lot of other things going on that were very emotionally difficult in January of last year. I talked about it last year. If that's a thing you're interested in, you're welcome to go back and watch those. I picked this up, and I did talk about this in Talk to Me Tuesday. I picked this up and I sat for hours and hours and hours and picked out all those stitches. And then once again, put it back on the shelf. The end of December, I was cleaning and organizing my space to get ready for a new year. And I pulled it out and I was like, this is it. This is the year. I got to do this. It didn't have a large enough back for my mid-arm. So what I ended up doing was just added like 6 inches of fabric to each side, just random fabric from my stash. I actually took it off, put it back in my stash when I was done. And then I put it on my mid-arm and I custom quilted every single block. There's a different color. I color matched as much as I could. The only thing I used a variegated on was, it's more of an ombre. I used an ombre on the Lonely Mountain just to give it some texture. And then everything else is just custom quilted. I will give you guys some close-ups. Hopefully that's already happening while you're watching. And yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. And the plan for this is to put it in my garage where my mid-arm is. My wall is empty right now. And I'm going to put this quilt out there. I have a whole box of things that I have made and other people have made for me that won't fit in this space because my walls are completely covered either with storage or design wall, or I have like my whole collage wall over my sewing machine that it's just full. I don't have anywhere to put any more stuff. So I'm going to fill that wall and make a collage wall in the garage. So this was my next oldest UFO after the flower embroidery one that I finished in December. So now the next UFO that's the oldest, I'm going to put on the wall so I can talk about that. Now I'm excited to transition and show you guys project number 2 that I've been working on. Last week you saw my wall full of signature blocks from different events that I hosted. It's a thing I used to do when I'd host an event. I would invite people to send a signature block. And I already made one quilt from them like years and years ago, the original Project of Doom. That one's been done a long time. And this quilt is from 3 different events plus some little Easter eggs. This took me a couple of days to puzzle out. It exercised all of my orphan block skills. The inside blocks are 6 inches, the outside blocks are 7. So I managed to compensate for that with just having a slightly different sized border. Like the sides are a little narrower than the top and bottom. And then I needed I think I needed 10 more blocks. What I did for that ended up sort of happening on accident because I found some other signature blocks while I was sorting through my stuff. Years and years and years ago, my friend Hard Hat Cat, who used to do Talk to Me Tuesday, she used to go to a lot of conventions and she sent me some fabric squares that she had some celebrities sign. So I have James and Oliver Phelps, the Phelps twins, who played Fred and George Weasley, and I have Natalia Tenya, I think it's Tenya, who played Tonks. And so I had 3 signatures from celebrities that I went ahead and threw in there since the center is a Project of Doom quilt along from 2015. So let me give you a little tour. This is, as I said, just a quilt top. No idea how I'm going to quilt this yet. So all of this center is the Project of Doom. And then across here we have X-Files. Those are really easy to find. And then on the left side, down and across the bottom is From There and Back Again, our Hobbit quilt along, which you just saw my quilt from. And over here, bottom, not all the way bottom, but there are 3 down on the bottom that are those 3 blocks that I made into blocks. And I do want to share how I did that. These blocks over here on the there we go, the one on the very edge, those were actually orphan blocks that our own Sarah from Houston gave me. There were maybe 7 or 8 of them, and I split them in half and added the fabric on one half to make them because they kind of go with the rest of the theme, and I really liked the way those looked. So the filler blocks over here are those blocks, and then across the top and like the top 3 on the left and 1 down are those blocks as well. And the way I finished it up was to machine embroider labels on the front. So there won't be a label on the back because the label is on the front of the quilt. Top left is Fandom and Stitches Quilt Along Participants. Next to it, Project of Doom 2015. And immediately under that are all the Project of Doom blocks. I Want to Believe 2016, just to the left of all of the I Want to Believe blocks, which was the X-Files quilt along. And then they're back again, right above where those signature blocks are. So yeah, this is all done. I have picked a back for it. It's just something that I had on hand. It doesn't really, it doesn't not go at the front, but it's not like something extra special for the back. It is just something I had that will totally work, and that will be added to my 2 quilt pile for my personal projects. So full disclosure on this quilt, you can tell it is a little bit more crinkly than a freshly quilted quilt because somewhere between 2011 and 2023, I had a stain right here, right in the background. And this is all Stonehenge fabric, so it wasn't super noticeable, but I could see it. And once I finished quilting it and binding it, I actually used a little OxyClean spray and I soaked it and I washed it and it came right out. And thank goodness, because there's a lot of work and so many years in this quilt. Once again, if this is a thing you would like to make, you can find this and many more Tolkien themed patterns on Fandom and Stitches under Hobbit slash Lord of the Rings. A quick note for my Talk to Me Tuesday video friends. We are going to be having a swap soon, so make sure you post a video. I like to make sure it's for active video members, because part of the purpose of the swap is so you can share it in your video. So I would like to make sure you're active before that happens. I will be sending that email out probably next week. So you guys try to make a video this week if you can, even if it's just to say hi. I have a pulse, I'm here. I would love to see you guys. That is for our video makers who share on talktometuesday.wordpress.com. And yeah, look for that email soon. Once again, that's only for video makers. I'm not gonna do a great big swap. It's literally just for people making videos, because we are talking to each other. You're always invited to join us, but the swaps are only going to be open to people who have made videos so far. So if you want to maybe join us for the next swap, whatever that is, this might be your year to jump in and start making videos. I feel like that's more than enough for this week. So you guys, I want you to have a wonderful week. I hope you have a crafty week. I hope the weather's okay where you are. It's actually very dark and gloomy here today. Lots of rain, not particularly cold. I did want to say I finally got my second shingles vaccination, so I'm all done with the shingles vax. If you're 50 or over, probably want to do that. If you are not sure, just talk to anybody who's ever had shingles and they will tell you that you want to get that done. That is, again, it for me. Have a great week, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.